cost is always a big issue too. Chemotherapy, radiation, removal of the tumors, or even doing it the way I've done it. It can get expensive, and I understand if you don't have the money or the funds. I was at a place where I could have done the chemo, I could have done the radiation. It would have been really tough, but I could have done it. But in the end, I wanted to do what I felt was best for her. Now, if I felt chemo was best for her, I would have done it. If I felt radiation was best for her, I would have done it. But in the end, through all my research, through all the vets, finding out her cancer had not metastasized, this is the way that I decided to do it. And I ended up praying to God that night, saying, please, tell me the right way to go. Tell me the right way to go. And then after finding out it hadn't metastasized, and then praying about it, and then just finally getting a second opinion with the oncologist I went to, where the oncologist said, hey, she looks good, it hasn't metastasized, I think what you're doing is good. So I continued to do what I was doing with the diet, with the medicine, and that's what I've been doing all along. And it does cost some money. It's not as much as you'll spend doing chemo or radiation. So this is a cheaper approach. But again, if I felt like chemo or radiation would have been the best option, I would have done it. And it would have been tough, but I would have taken out credit. I would have taken out whatever I could have. She's my life, she's my love. So I would have done whatever I could have. And I understand maybe you are in a position where you can do that, or maybe you can't. But in the end, there are other options as well. I did a GoFundMe to where I made $250 on a GoFundMe for Daisy's cancer. I also went to this nonprofit organization that gave me a $500 grant, and they were called Pause for a Cure. They're run by Carrie Goldman, and she's the sole owner of it. An amazing woman. She's the only person for Pause for a Cure, and she's just an amazing woman. And so she gave me a $500 grant to do these tests on Daisy to figure out whether I wanted to do the chemo or whether I wanted to continue doing the route I was doing. And so there are organizations that will give you grants for your dog who has cancer. You just have to apply for them, and you got to do a few things to get them. Sometimes you'll be denied, but I did get the one for Pause for a Cure, and I will put the website in the description bar. And other foundations out there, you just Google and say, foundations that give grants for dogs with cancer, and you'll find a good list of them. But I will give you Pause for a Cure website right in the description bar, and they're wonderful organization. However, not every veterinarian is going to take the grant, because how the grant works is you have to go to the vet, do the work, pay your portion, and then the veterinarian has to agree to get the $500 grant or $1,000 grant from this organization later on. So they have to trust that this organization is going to send them a check for the rest of the money. And so I ran into many veterinarians that would not do that. But I finally did find a veterinarian that said, yeah, we'll do that. So I paid my portion up front for Daisy's ultrasound and her other tests, and then Pause for a Cure sent their $500 about 3 weeks to a month later, paying the rest of the bill to that veterinarian. So that's kind of how it works. But again, there's just a lot of great organizations that will help you out financially. And if you can do it for your dog, fight for your dog, then do it. I say do it. And anything for family.